Hi everyone, this is Canny Couple, and today I'm going to give you my top 8 items that we stockpile in our household. But before we get started, please make sure you hit the like button, and we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel. So there's been a lot of videos out on YouTube, and they're really good content talking about what to stockpile. And I like to look at this in a much simpler fashion. I have 8 items that I stockpile for stockpile anything. If I'm going to buy something to stockpile, you can about bet at least one of those are going to be one of these 8 items. Now, these are not all that we stockpile, but these are our top 8 items that we stockpile. We even have them under 10. And really with these, they're versatile is what we're looking for. Shelf stable. They don't require refrigeration, although some of them can be. And it's just ease of use. So the very first one, and this is my number 1 item to stockpile, is going to be oatmeal. So this is oatmeal that we got. We actually got this in I can't remember if it was a 25 or a 50-pound bag from As Your Standard. And we get whole oatmeal, a whole grain oatmeal. So rolled oats. And they're the best. So we actually buy these in bulk. And I can say if you go through As Your Standard and you buy a 50-pound bag, even a 25-pound bag, depending on your area, it's going to be cheaper. For us, 32 ounces of oatmeal from the grocery store is $4. That's the sale price. So I can get it for under $2 per pound if I buy it in the 50-pound bag. And I think it's even less than that. So oatmeal is my number 1. We eat this all the time. We can eat oatmeal for every meal if we have to. If we can't get out, we cannot get to the grocery store, we can eat oatmeal. So it is definitely our number 1. Our number 2 is going to be rice. I know a lot of people would say flour or wheat, but we really do enjoy rice, and it's a very versatile. You can have it sweet, you can have it savory, you can have it with anything else that you're eating, and it just tastes good. It's easy to fix. You just need water and salt, of course, to make it taste good. And then you have number 3, it's going to be organic cane sugar. So don't give me any flack for this. We like cane sugar because first it's going to add flavor if I decide to do a rice pudding, if my oatmeal needs a little sweetness, but also as a preservative. So when we get down, you're going to see that fruit is one of those things that we preserve. Well, you need sugar to help preserve that fruit. And then we also have, well, let's go ahead and do our fruit actually. So we do sugar, and we actually preserve fruit. Now, I would say pick your favorite 1 or 2. Now, we do preserve more fruit here than we do anything else, and that's because we grow a lot of fruit on our homestead. We have a lot of berries. We have blueberries, blackberries, black raspberries, raspberries. We have so much Logan berries, boysenberries, and I'm sure there's more than I'm missing because we have so many. And these are some of the apples from our apple tree that I can every single year. We can these in a simple syrup, a light syrup, but it does require me to have sugar to do that. These are some peaches that we bought last year. And it was very well worth it because our peach tree is not producing. It did get bit this year, and it wouldn't produce enough for us to put enough cans away for the year. And we will also be getting some pears until our pears are producing. Now, the next thing we have are vegetables. So for us, vegetables is really one thing that I actually stockpile, and that is tomatoes. We eat a lot of tomatoes, canned tomatoes. Now, we are not a family that goes and pulls a tomato fresh off the vine and slices it and has a mayo sandwich. And if you're not from the South, you might not know what that is, but we don't do that. But I do use tomatoes. I would probably say 3 out of 4 weeks we have something that is tomato based. So we do tomatoes and we can our own. And this is definitely something I would stockpile. We grow them, I dehydrate them, I'll put them on freeze dried some next year to make tomato powder, and I will always continue to can them. And these are just straight cans, so it makes it very versatile. I can make these into anything I want, any sauce, anything. I can make it to spaghetti sauce, I can make it into pizza sauce, I can make it into enchilada sauce, I can use it for Italian, Mexican, anything I want to. This stuff works. And then after that we have canned meat, and for us it's going to be chicken. So we are a poultry eating family. We don't eat a lot of beef. We don't eat a lot of pork. We do eat a little bit of fish, but we really do prefer it to be frozen or fresh. But we do eat a lot of chicken, and canned chicken is something I like to keep on hand. Next year, I'm planning on having a lot more of my own home canned chicken, but for right now, until we get to that point, we are actually just stockpiling on these. Now, I will say Walmart has the best deal on these at the time. You can get 4 for under $10, so it's a pretty good price for that. Because 250, they used to be a lot lower, but now 250 per can, that's as good as you're going to get in our area. And then after this is something I don't have up here. It's going to be beans. So we love beans. We are a rice and bean family. I will probably have beans out of every 2 weeks, 2 out of every 4 weeks of the month. We eat a lot of black beans, red beans. We're not a pinto bean family. So we store the beans that we enjoy eating, and that's definitely your black beans and your red beans. We like them for chili. We like them to eat them anyway. Cajun beans, Mexican, definitely. They're a great source of protein. They're very filling. You could tell that you're full when you have them. So for us, it's just a really good way to get extra protein, and it's reasonably priced still. And then my last thing, and I'm sorry, I keep looking down, I'm checking my list here. Well, not my last thing. Well, no, it is number 8. It's going to be salt. So we are a Redmond salt family. And if you've never had Redmond salt, I would highly suggest you try it, because it's one of the best salts ever. It does not taste like any salt you get at the grocery store. There is no comparison. I don't care what anybody says. If anybody tells you salt is salt, that is not true. We never use salt, or used to never use salt, like ever. I would put a little bit of salt in the pasta water, maybe occasionally on some meat. Aaron would use a little bit for his seasonings for barbecue, but other than that, there would be no salt used in our home. One little container, one can of salt would last us over a year at least. Now the Redmonds, I use it in just about every meal we have. Just a little bit. It doesn't take much. It's that flavorful, but it's also a great preservative. We really like the Redmonds because it is natural. All it is salt, and you can really tell a difference. So these are our 8 items, but I do have one bonus one, and this is more for me than anybody else. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is my kryptonite. When I first, started dating Aaron and moved in, he's like, I didn't realize I was going to need to take stock out on peanut butter because I eat so much of it. So I like to keep a couple of cans of powdered peanut butter on hand. This is more for me. It's not a necessity, but it's a luxury for me to have if something were to happen. But when you're looking at this is what we need. These are our 8 items that we can make. I can make any meals I want to out of these 8 items for the most part. But when you're building your pantry, don't think you need to have a list of 50 items to start building your pantry. You can start your pantry with a list of 5 items, 3 items, 1 item. If you eat oatmeal, start with oatmeal. Build yourself up a good 6-month supply stock of oatmeal. That whatever oatmeal you like to eat, or 3-month supply, whatever you feel you need. Don't feel like you have to go out there and have this huge amount, to spend this huge amount of money to try to build this massive stockpile. If you can take a little bit of money and creativity and actually come up with a really decent stockpile with just a few items that you can make multiple types of meals from. It's all about having creativity, thinking outside the box, and really just looking at what do you really eat. Do not buy things you do not eat. If you don't eat rice, my list has rice on it, don't get rice. If you don't like oatmeal, a lot of people don't. It's one of those foods, it's 50-50 if people like it or not. Don't get oatmeal. These are the foods we want to eat, we like to eat, and the foods that I know I can serve my family and will be okay, and the foods that I like to keep on hand in my pantry. And again, this isn't the only thing. I don't, keep a really strict structure on this. We have other things that we do stockpile. But these are the items that I feel are like the very basic necessities of my stockpile. So as always, thank you for joining us. Please look at our link tree for our other content. And thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.